While thou re on top of the water supply, and you fair see the flipper, I believe he's more than terrible since he's the unidentified. But while you are submarine and you see the dogfish, it is lot less than terrible. While I saw him for the at first period, he was greater rather than anticipated, and so lot more than colorful. The is which a 26-year-old female, a visitor of England, said researchers following departure downward in an aluminum cell in the gusty water off the shore of Bluffing, a southern seaport city in New Zealand, to look the large whites dogfish, the greatest carnivorous minnow in the planet. Work in which they urge one of the 5 large whites dogfish hotspots in the planet. 2 researchers, India-based Raj Ike and his UK connect, Susie Lucas, are student how cell divers impacts humane cooperation in the large whites dogfish. Above the history year, the 2 include interviewee 150 cell various, the youngest was 12-year ancient, and the senior was 70, of several 20 countries. Our study shows various part in the research back in a favorable relation to the sharks following a cell plunge, Dr. Ike says. The helps them clarify the large whites dogfish. The large whites dogfish has incurred of a deformation picture issue, always with the produce more than rather than 40 years ago of Steven Spielberg's Jaws, a terror blockbuster movie on a dogfish how often attacks beachgoers in a refuge city in the U.S. It is as if God created the hell and gave him Jaws, a vote drones in the caravan on the movie's object, the largest maligned of the 500 strange kind of sharks. It is, the storyteller says icily, a meaningless consuming car that lives to murder. So how the World Association for Preservation of Environment, IUCN, red listing has put the large whites on its sensitive listing since of the characteristically overdone risk to humane security and nearly fabulous large minnow statute. The kind, onto IUCN, is aimed as a resource of sport fishing, hunt, to jaws gearing, and though whole specimens canned, occasional humane intake, or just as the fish beating boy of individuals pimping to dogfish assault paranoid. In actual lifetime, the large whites dogfish, the minnow can weight up to 2 tons, increase to lengths of 20 foot, 6 meter, achieve speeds of 40 mph in water supply and dwell sensibly length, prefer seals, sea lions, tuna fish, laks and little tooth whales as extraction. They are curious, abrupt, and feeling beings, Dr. Ike says. Occasionally I go downward in the water supply following baits include been deserted, and the dogfish doesn't go to the ship. Or she will go for a few seconds and go off. The dogfish's will to face humans is major. The large whites dogfish, on to dogfish expert Craig Ferreira, is as well able of blasting abuse, but is completely not a bloodstream thirsty and violent pet, and its behavior is focused on not proper implicated in dispute and fight, in fight creature the recent refuge. Dogfish attacks include lost downward above the year, down there were 84 cases of motiveless attacks on humans in 2016, on to the World Dogfish Assault folder. Among 2011 to 2016, down there were 82 such attacks every year. More than rather than part of the motiveless attacks took location in the mainland polar ice water. Just 13 loss of life include been ascribed to large whites sharks in West Australia with 1870, on to Leah Gibbs, a elder lecturer in geographical at Australia's College of Wollongong. Each date, among December and June, 2 boats ferry boat hundreds of tourists who pay NZ $500, $363, pound to 62, every to climb up in cages yoked to boats for a type of the indisputable star of the sea in 12 extent sea water supply. Brought by tuna fish lure, the sharks float to the turquoise color dark blue water wherever the Tasman Sea and the Southern Sea encounter. While the researchers tell to sell various close bluffing, lot of them informed a large whites epiphany. They found the dogfish tranquility, peace and nice to see it. Other found it curious and interesting. It comes and looks at the cell fair to see which is departure at, told one visitor. Observer the large whites, on to a 60-year-old Canada person, was a driving expertise, and down there was no terror at all. Human beings say all terrible things on sharks, and as a kid you are molded in specific beliefs. But I felt completely at world in such animals, he told. He's a fully various expertise for me rather than how I've seen on television, a honeymooning us pair, said the researchers. It seems they are a lot more than obedient. The jury trial is out on if cell divers is a nice way to enhance cooperation among humans and sharks. Ladling tuna fish lure in the water supply to draw the minnow creates an unusual position, guideline to unusual behavior by the sharks. George H. Burgess, dogfish specialist at the Florida Museum of Nature Story, said me. In Jaws, Matt Hooper, a nature who acting an oceanographer and dogfish specialist, tells the head of police force studying the bathing beach deaths, down there's anything in the sea the minnow would terror. Some minnow run of greater things. How's their intuition? But the minnow doesn't run of whatever. He doesn't terror. Not rather, as dogfish various about the planet are start to find. Pictures by Getty Images and Raj Ike.